Hello and welcome to Mythic Mundi. Today we journey back to the dawn of English literature, to a time of mist-shrouded fens, great mead-halls filled with song, and the shadowy places where heroes are forged. We are exploring the oldest surviving epic poem in the English language, a masterpiece of courage, loyalty, and the eternal struggle against the darkness that lies just beyond the firelight. This is the story of Beowulf. Before we delve into the feasting and the fighting, we must first understand what this poem is. The single surviving manuscript, known as the Noel Codex, is a treasure. It dates to around the year 1000 AD, but the story itself is much older, passed down through generations of oral storytellers or scops who would recite the tale in resonant, alliterative verse to entertain kings and warriors in their halls. It is a story from a transitional world. It's set in Scandinavia, in Denmark and Sweden, Geatland, not England. Its heroes operate under an ancient Germanic code of conduct, a warrior ethos of honor, treasure, and blood feud. Yet it was written down by Christian monks, whose worldview subtly shades the narrative, creating a fascinating tension between pagan fate and divine providence. This poem is not just a monster story. It is a cultural document, a meditation on what it means to be a good leader, a loyal follower, and a brave human being in a world that is often terrifying and unpredictable. So, let us dim the lights, stoke the fire, and travel back to the land of the Danes, to the great hall whose glittering reputation would summon both a hero and a horror.
Our story begins with the Spear Danes, a prosperous tribe in Denmark ruled by the wise and aging King Hrothgar. Hrothgar is a descendant of the great shield chieftain, a legendary founder whose prowess brought his people from destitution to greatness. To celebrate his own successful reign and to create a center for his kingdom, Hrothgar commissions the construction of a magnificent mead-hall, the greatest the world has ever seen. He names it Heorot, the Hall of the Heart. Heorot is more than just a building. It is the very symbol of Danish civilization. It is a place of light, warmth, community, and joy. Inside, Hrothgar and his queen, Wealhtheow, dispense lavish gifts of gold rings and treasures to their loyal warriors, known as thanes. It is here that the Scops sing songs of creation and history, reinforcing the bonds of their society. It is the heart of the kingdom. But this light, this joy, casts a long shadow. Out in a cold darkness of the fens and moors, a creature lurks. The poem describes him as a fiend out of hell, a grim wanderer named Grendel. He is not merely a monster. He is an outcast, a descendant of the biblical Cain, the first murderer, cursed by God and exiled from human society. The sounds of joy from Heorot, the music, the laughter, the songs of creation are a torment to him. They are a reminder of the community and light from which he is forever banished. And so one night, driven by this painful envy, Grendel attacks. He creeps into the magnificent hall where Hrothgar's warriors lie sleeping after their feast. The attack is swift and devastating. When morning comes, the joyful hall is stained, and 30 of Hrothgar's finest men are gone, taken by the monster. The joy of Heorot is broken. The song turns to mourning. King Hrothgar is paralyzed by grief. The next night, Grendel returns, and the next. No one can stop him. The warriors who were brave enough to stay in the hall at night are never seen again. Heorot, the symbol of civilization, is abandoned. it stands empty and dark, ruled by the creature of the night. For 12 long years, this shadow-stalker terrorizes the Danes. The news of Hrothgar's suffering spreads across the seas. In the land of the Geats, in what is now southern Sweden, the news reaches the ears of a man who is in many ways Grendel's opposite. He is Beowulf, nephew of King Hygelac. He is described as the strongest of the Geats, a man of noble birth and immense physical power. But Beowulf is more than just strong. He is driven by the warrior's code. He sees Hrothgar's plight as an opportunity to win glory or love, which to the Anglo-Saxon mind was the only true form of immortality. He also feels a duty, as his father, Ecgtheow, was once given sanctuary by Hrothgar, creating a debt of honor. Beowulf announces his intention to sail to Denmark and confront this menace. The wise elders of the Geats examine the omens and encourage him, for they know his reputation. He gathers his 14 finest warriors, his personal band of retainers, his comitatus, and they commission a strong sea vessel. They cross the Whale Road, the poetic term for the ocean, and soon their ship lands on the shores of Denmark. They are met by a Danish watchman, wary of armed strangers. Beowulf, with calm confidence, states his name and his purpose. "We have come on a great errand to the Lord of the Danes. We are Geats, and I am Beowulf. I have heard of the monster, Grendel, and I have come to cleanse Heorot." Impressed by Beowulf's noble bearing and declared intent, the watchman guides them to the great hall. They march in their shining mail shirts and boar-crested helmets, a vision of strength and purpose, and present themselves to King Hrothgar. Hrothgar, now old and frail, remembers Beowulf's father and welcomes him. Yet the court is not entirely convinced. A warrior named Unferth, sitting at the king's feet, is eaten by envy. He taunts Beowulf, bringing up a story of his youth, a swimming contest against a man named Breca, which Beowulf supposedly lost. "Are you the same Beowulf who risked his life on the sea for a foolish boast? I predict a worse outcome if you dare to wait for Grendel." This is a formal challenge to Beowulf's reputation. Beowulf does not shrink. He stands and delivers his own formal boast or beot. It is not idle bragging. It is a binding verbal contract of his intent. He corrects Unferth's story. He explains that he and Breca were neck and neck for 5 nights until a storm separated them. Beowulf was dragged to the bottom by sea monsters. He describes clinically how he served them with his sword, defeating 9 of them before washing ashore in Finland. He then turns the tables on Unferth, stating, "You, Unferth, have never performed such deeds of valor. In fact, if you were as brave as you claim, Grendel would still be menacing this hall. I, Beowulf, will show you how a Geat settles his affairs." The hall erupts with approval. Hrothgar is filled with new hope. A great feast is held. Queen Wealhtheow moves gracefully through the hall, offering the ceremonial cup to the warriors, thanking Beowulf for his arrival. Then, as evening falls, the Danes depart. Heorot is left to Beowulf and his 14 Geats. Beowulf, in an ultimate gesture of confidence and faith in his own strength, makes a bold decision. He removes his helmet and his mail shirt. He lays down his sword. "Grendel uses no weapons," he declares, "and so I too will face him with my bare hands in a contest of strength, man versus monster. May the wise Lord decree the victor." He and his men lie down to wait. The Geats are uneasy, believing they will never see their homeland again. Beowulf, however, lies in wait, his heart high, trusting in his proud strength. And then, from the moors, the shadow-stalker comes. Grendel bursts through the heavy doors of Heorot. His eyes, the poem says, burn with a baleful light. He sees the sleeping warriors, and his spirit laughs, anticipating a feast. He seizes the first Geat he comes to, and, in a terrible swift action, the warrior is gone. The monster then reaches for the next man, Beowulf. But Beowulf is ready. He is not sleeping. He pushes himself up on one arm and seizes Grendel's advancing claw with a grip of iron. The poem describes this as a grip stronger than any the monster had ever felt. Terror seizes Grendel. His one desire is to flee, to escape back to his fen, but he is held fast. He struggles, and Beowulf rises to meet him. The hall itself groans, benches are overturned, the golden tapestries are torn. The sounds of their struggle are terrifying. The remaining Geats, waking in a panic, draw their swords and try to help their lord, but it is useless. Their blades, the finest tempered steel, cannot pierce the monster's hide, which is protected by some ancient magic. This must be a contest of pure strength. Beowulf holds on. Grendel thrashes, desperate to escape. The very foundations of Heorot shake. Finally, with a terrible tearing sound of sinew and bone, the creature's body gives way. Grendel rips himself free, but he leaves something behind. Beowulf stands victorious, breathing heavily, holding the monster's entire arm, shoulder, claw, and all. Grendel is mortally wounded. He flees the hall, leaving a trail back to the moors to go to his end. The threat is over. When morning comes, the Danes are overjoyed. They ride out, following the trail to the edge of a dark, boiling lake, a mere, confirming Grendel's fate. They return to Heorot, praising Beowulf. The Scop sings a new song, a song of Beowulf's victory. As a sign of this victory, a grotesque trophy is displayed for all to see. Beowulf fastens the creature's arm high beneath the gables of the great hall. Heorot is cleansed. Civilization has been defended. The songs and laughter return, louder than ever before.
The celebration in Heorot is magnificent. King Hrothgar, his voice filled with emotion, formally adopts Beowulf as a son. He showers him with treasures, a golden banner, a helmet, a mail shirt, and a famous ancestral sword. The horses of the kingdom, the finest available, are brought forth as gifts. Queen Veltho, too, presents Beowulf with a golden torque, a magnificent neck ring, and asks him to be a kind advisor to her own young sons. The bonds of alliance between the Geats and the Danes are sealed not just in victory, but in generosity and respect. The night ends in feasting, and for the first time in 12 years, the Danish warriors sleep in their great hall, believing the danger has passed. They are wrong. A new threat, an older and perhaps more elemental one, is stirring. While Grendel was an outcast, an exile, he was not alone. In the dark, cold depths of the haunted mere, his mother has been waiting, and now she is grieving. The poem describes her as a monstrous hag, a tarn hag, but she is not just a random monster. She operates by the same ancient, brutal code as the warriors themselves, the code of the blood feud. Her son was taken, and now she must exact a price. She is Grendel's mother, and she is coming for revenge. That night, she storms Heorot. The warriors, sleeping off their feast, are thrown into a panic. Her attack is swift and purposeful. She is not as powerful as her son, but she is filled with a cold fury. She seizes one man, not a Geat, but a Dane. And not just any Dane. She takes Asher, King Hrothgar's most beloved advisor, his oldest friend, and his right-hand man. In the confusion, she also snatches the grotesque trophy, her son's arm, from the gables and vanishes back into the night. When Beowulf, who had been quartered elsewhere, is summoned, he finds Hrothgar completely broken. This second blow is worse than the first. Grendel's attacks were a plague. This is a personal, calculated act of vengeance. "My dearest friend is gone," Hrothgar laments. He then describes the place where the monsters live, a truly terrifying, supernatural landscape. It is a haunted lake in a joyless wood where the water itself seems to burn at night. Even the deer, when hunted by hounds, will rather die on the shore than plunge into that unholy water. Once again, Hrothgar says, "Only you can help us." There is a reward, of course, more ancient treasure, but this is a quest of profound danger. Do you dare to seek out this place? Beowulf's response is a perfect summary of the heroic code. He does not hesitate. "Sorrow not, wise king. It is better for a man to avenge his friend than to mourn him much. Each of us must await the end of this life. Let him who can win glory before his end. That is best for a warrior." He arms himself, but this time he prepares for a different kind of battle. This is not a wrestling match in a hall. This is an invasion of an alien underwater realm. He wears his full suit of locked mail, his shining helmet, and Unferth, the man who had previously taunted him, now humbled, offers Beowulf his own ancestral sword, a famous blade named Hrunting. Beowulf leads the king and his retainers to the edge of the dreadful mere. The sight is grim, the water is murky, and on the cliff edge, they find the head of the unfortunate Asher. The message is clear. Beowulf gives his final speeches. He tells Hrothgar that if he does not return to send the treasures he won to his own king, Hygelac, he gives his own sword to Unferth, a gesture of respect, and then, without waiting for an answer, he plunges into the dark water, alone. For the better part of a day, he sinks. He is assailed by sea creatures, but his mail shirt protects him. Then from the depths, Grendel's mother senses him. She rises, seizes him in her claws, and drags him down to her lair at the bottom of the lake. He finds himself in a vast, dry cave, a battle hall, lit by an unearthly fire. Here, the water cannot harm him. He is face to face with the she-wolf of the deep. He swings the great sword Hrunting, striking her head with all his might. But the blade, which had never failed in battle before, fails now. It cannot pierce her hide. He casts the useless sword aside and, once again, trusts in his hands. They wrestle, a terrible struggle in the subterranean gloom. She is immensely strong and throws him to the ground. She draws a short sword, a sax, and lunges, but his mail shirt holds, turning the blade. His woven breast mail saves his life. He struggles to his feet, and then his eyes fall upon a weapon hanging on the wall. It is an ancient sword, a massive blade, forged by giants, so large that no ordinary man could lift it. But Beowulf, filled with battle rage and a desperate strength, seizes the hilt. He swings the giant sword in a great arc and brings it down upon the creature. The blow is decisive. It connects with her neck, and the threat of Grendel's mother is ended. The unholy light in the cave brightens. Beowulf, his task not quite finished, looks around the lair. He sees the body of Grendel, lying in a corner, having succumbed to the wound from their first battle. Filled with a final surge of fury, Beowulf swings the giant sword again, taking the head of Grendel as a final proof of his complete victory over the monstrous line. The blade of the giant sword, its work done, melts away from the creature's potent blood, leaving only the hilt. Beowulf takes 2 trophies from the lair, the hilt of the giant sword and the head of Grendel. He swims back up, a long ascent through the now cleansed water. On the shore, Hrothgar and the Danes, seeing the lake suddenly churn with blood, had given up hope. Believing Beowulf lost, they had returned to Hrothgar, grieving. Only Beowulf's own Geats had remained, at the shore, in a show of profound loyalty, sick at heart, staring at the water. And then their lord emerges. He surfaces, holding his trophies, and swims to the shore. There is great rejoicing. They carry the massive head of Grendel, a task requiring 4 men, all the way back to Hrothgar. They enter the hall, creating a stunning spectacle. Beowulf presents the head and the ancient hilt to Hrothgar. He recounts his battle, giving credit to God and fate for showing him the giant sword when his own had failed. Hrothgar, deeply moved, praises Beowulf. But then, the old king, wise in the ways of power, delivers a famous and beautiful speech, often called Hrothgar's sermon. He warns Beowulf. He tells him to beware of pride, or overmod. He explains that power and strength are fleeting. A king can rule for decades, facing no threat, until suddenly, arrogance or old age or a sudden attack bring him low. O flower of warriors, choose the better part, eternal rewards. Do not give way to pride. For a brief while your strength is in bloom, but it fades quickly. It is a profound philosophical moment, a warning that even the greatest hero is mortal and must guard his soul. The next day, the Geats are eager to return home. Beowulf, now fabulously wealthy from his rewards and universally acclaimed, bids a formal and heartfelt farewell to Hrothgar. The old king weeps, embracing him, sensing he will never see the young hero again. Beowulf and his men sail home to Geatland, where they are welcomed by their own king, Hygelac, and his queen, Hygdi. Beowulf faithfully recounts his adventures and, in an ultimate act of loyalty, presents all the treasure he received from Hrothgar to his own king. Hygelac, in turn, rewards Beowulf with a great ancestral sword and vast lands. Beowulf, the hero, has proven himself not just in battle, but in loyalty.
The poem now leaps forward in time. Half a century passes. Beowulf's life has changed. His king, Hygelac, fell in battle. Hygelac's son, Herdred, also met his end. The throne of the Geats passed to the only one worthy, Beowulf. For 50 years, Beowulf rules as a wise and powerful king. He is a ring giver, a protector of his people, a good shepherd. He has kept the peace, and his kingdom has prospered under his steady hand. He is now an old man, his dark hair turned white, his body heavy with age, but his spirit, his honor, remains. The final act of the epic begins not with a human conflict, but with an ancient, sleeping power. For hundreds of years, a dragon has slept beneath the earth, guarding an immense heathen hoard of treasure left by a long-dead, forgotten tribe. Its sleep is disturbed when a runaway slave, desperate and fleeing his master, stumbles into the dragon's burrow. He sees the sleeping beast and the glittering gold. He snatches a single gem-studded goblet and escapes. When the dragon awakens, it knows instantly that its hoard has been violated. It circles, sniffing the ground, and finds the man's footprints. It is consumed by a cold reptilian fury. It will not hunt the man. It will punish the entire land. The dragon bides his time, waiting for nightfall. Then it emerges from its burrow like a burning sky serpent.
It flies over Geatland, spewing fire, scorching the earth and burning the bright dwellings. The land is terrorized. In its rampage, it burns down the one place that signifies Beowulf's own kingship, his royal hall, the gift throne of the Geats. When the news reaches Beowulf, he is struck with a deep personal grief and, for a moment, a rare self-doubt. He wonders if he has somehow angered God, breaking an ancient law. But this despair quickly turns to resolve. This is his kingdom, his people. As king, it is his duty to protect them. The old warrior prepares for his last battle. He is not the young man who faced Grendel. He knows the dragon's fire is a deadly threat. He commissions a special shield, one made entirely of iron to withstand the heat. But his pride, his Ophir mode that Hrothgar warned him about, surfaces. He is ashamed to fight with a large army. He believes this is his fight alone, a final contest of strength. He will face the dragon one-on-one, just as he faced Grendel. He gathers 11 of his most trusted retainers, his new comitatus, and, guided by the thief who stole the cup, he travels to the dragon's burrow. At the entrance, a great stone arch, Beowulf sits and speaks to his men. His heart is heavy, sad, restless, and ready for his end. He reminisces about his life, his childhood in the court of his grandfather, the death of his king, Hygelac, and his own long peaceful reign. Then he stands and issues his final boast. He says, "I have fought many battles in my youth. Now, as the old guardian of my people, I will seek this feud again. I will win this gold, or this battle will take me, your lord, away." He tells his men to wait on the burrow to see who wins. "This is not your fight, nor any man's, but mine alone. I will win this treasure, or my end will come." With his iron shield and his sword negling, Beowulf strides to the burrow's entrance and shouts a battle cry. The dragon hears. The hoard-guard awakens. It breathes out fire and the earth trembles. Beowulf raises his shield as a wave of flame washes over him. The iron holds, but not for long. It is a terrible, fiery confrontation. Beowulf swings his sword negling against the dragon's scales, but the ancient blade, which had served him well, snaps. It fails him, just as Hrunting failed him in the mere. The poem notes that it was never Beowulf's fate to win with an iron blade. His strength was too great, breaking every sword he wielded. For the first time, Beowulf is in dire straits, encircled by fire, his shield melting, his sword broken. And his 11 retainers? His hand-picked warrior band? Seeing their lord engulfed in flames, they do not run to his aid. Their courage breaks. They flee, running for their lives into the nearby woods, abandoning their king. All except one. His name is Wiglaf. He is a young warrior, a kinsman of Beowulf. As he watches his lord suffer, his heart is filled with sorrow and shame. He remembers the rings, the armor, the hall, and the oaths of loyalty they had all sworn. He lifts his wooden shield and draws his own ancestral sword. He cannot stay silent. He shouts to the others, his voice ringing with disgust. "I remember that time when we were drinking mead in the hall, when we promised our Lord that we would repay him for these gifts, for this armor, if ever he had need. He chose us for this venture. Now our Lord is in need. He is suffering. How can we go back to our homes when our king is being overcome? As for me, I would rather my body be consumed by the same fire as my king's." Wiglaf plunges through the deadly smoke to stand by his lord's side. "My lord, Beowulf, fight on. Use all your strength as you swore to do in your youth. I will help you." The dragon attacks again. Wiglaf's wooden shield is burned to a cinder, but he bravely shelters behind Beowulf's iron one. Inspired by this loyalty, Beowulf finds a final surge of strength. The dragon lunges a third time, a final desperate attack. It fastens its venomous tusks deep into Beowulf's neck. His king's lifeblood pours out. In this final terrible moment, Wiglaf does not falter. He sees his opening. He lunges under the dragon's head, striking the beast in its softer underbelly, a place where his sword can find purchase. His hand is badly burnt, but the blow is effective. The dragon's fire begins to weaken. Beowulf, though mortally wounded, draws his own seax, his short sword, from his belt. With the last of his strength, he delivers the final decisive blow to the monster. Together, king and thane, they have vanquished the beast. The horde is won. But the price is devastating. Beowulf knows his end is near. The dragon's venom is burning in his wound. He slumps to the ground. He asks Wiglaf to do one last thing, to go into the barrow and bring him some of the treasure, so he can look upon this ancient gold and die more easily, knowing what he has won for his people. Wiglaf hurries into the barrow and is stunned by the sight. A mountain of golden cups, plates, helmets, and banners, all rusting and tarnished, lying useless. He gathers what he can and brings it to his dying king. Beowulf looks at the gold. I thank the Lord of all for what I have been allowed to win for my people, but I have bought this hoard with my own life. Now I cannot stay any longer. He gives his golden torque, his helmet, and his mail shirt to Wiglaf. You are the last of our line, he says, passing the kingship to the only one who proved worthy. All my kinsmen have been taken by fate. Now I must follow them. And with those words, the soul of Beowulf, the great hero and the good king, departs. Wiglaf is left grieving beside his fallen lord. The cowardly retainers creep out of the woods. Wiglaf, now their king, meets them with cold fury, telling them they are disgraced. Their cowardice, he prophesies, will invite attacks from their enemies. The age of the Geats, their golden age under Beowulf, is over. The poem ends not with celebration, but with a funeral. The Geats build a massive funeral pyre for their king, piling it with helmets and shields. They lay their beloved lord upon it and set it ablaze. Then, as the heaven smoke rises, they build a great barrow on the headland, just as Beowulf asked, so that sailors on the sea will see Beowulf's barrow and remember him. 12 warriors ride around the tomb, chanting a lament, praising his kingship and his great deeds. The final lines of the poem are not about his strength or the monsters he defeated. They are a eulogy for a good king. They say he was lufjonenust, the most eager for glory, but he was also, to his people, the mildest of men and the kindest, gentlest to his people and the most gracious. He was, in the end, both a great hero and a good man. His story, this echo from a lost world, reminds us of the light we must tend to, the loyalty we owe, and the courage it takes to face the darkness even when we know our end is near. The legacy of Beowulf is immeasurable. It is the first great hero's journey in the English tradition, a story that would influence countless others, from The Lord of the Rings to modern superheroes.
What other epic heroes or foundational myths would you like us to explore here on Mythic Mundi? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into our literary past, please help our channel by pressing the like button, subscribing for more adventures, and sharing your thoughts. Your support is the treasure we value most. Thank you for watching.